Hello everybody and welcome to this morning's Kernow Football Alliance press conference. I'll just throw you to the floor for a few introductions. Right after we play a fantastic video we have here introducing what Kernow Football Alliance is all about, created by Liam Eaton and Ben Howe, who's just here, part of our Kernow media team. So Jack, you mind playing that? I'll avert your eyes to the big screen. Wonderful.
Hello, boys.
Okay, so hopefully that sets a bit of a tone for what you can expect from Kernow Football Alliance moving forward. I'd just like to throw to our chairman, Jason Heaton, in the middle here. He is alongside Andrew Bragg. To his right, that's Director of Football. There's James Ward, our men's team captain. Wayne Roberts, goalkeeping coach. And to Jason's left, we have Simon York and Matt Opie as well. So we'll just throw to you for a couple of introductions.
Cheers, Tom. Diana Gall, OV Jason Heaton, Chairman. Good day, welcome all. I'm Jason Heaton, Chairman of Kernow Football Alliance. New era and a new time for football in Cornwall, and a perfect opportunity for us to show off what we've been doing for the last 2 years and how it's going to relate going forward into a new unknown. Going forward, looking to take on 3 major tournaments, international tournaments with CONIFA. So we're just going to take the opportunity to introduce people into the sort of public eye, new roles that have been undertaken and people that have been working behind the scenes to get to where we are today. So to my left we have Inclusive Director and Women's Football, Women's Team Manager Simon York. If you'd like to say a few words, Simon.
Yes, certainly. I came on to Kernow FA is the Inclusive Director, doing the managing of the women's team and also the Inclusive. Been here for just over a year or so now. Really enjoying the role. And to the left of me I have the Inclusive Captain Matthew Opie. I'd like to say a few words.
I'm Matthew Opie, I'm captain of Kernow FA.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. It's good to have you.
Nice one, Matt.
Yeah, cheers. And just how many times have you captained the side now? How many games?
Wasn't a minute.
So five games.
5 games. Captain.
Five games. One Wiltshire, yeah. 1 or 5 of those.
Yeah, so 5 games, 5 wins. Yeah, excellent, great start. And then to my right, we've got co-founder and director of football, Andrew Bragg.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, Andrew Bragg, Director of Football. Very exciting times for us at the moment. Obviously, with the men's team, looking forward to going to Nice. Hopefully, to bring back a European Cup. As you know, played 5 games, 5 victories so far. The last one, we went up to Northwood to play Cascadia. Very strong team. Came away 8-1 winners, absolutely blew us away. They had Canadian internationals playing for them. On that day, I would say it was our best performance. And going to Nice is going to be a challenge for us, but it's something that we can do. The teams in this tournament are very, very strong. but I don't really see a lot out there that should trouble us if we played to the full of our ability. And from the very beginning, on my right, we have James Wood, who's been team captain from the very first game. He'll be going to Nice with us as well. So if you'd like to say a few words, James?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks Andrew and Jason. Kind of been the captain from the start, and it's since the start of the journey really. It's been going on for 3 years, and I've seen it from the start as well, and seen how much effort everyone has been involved with making Kernow FA and trying to get us all sort of put on the map really. And like I said, seeing it firsthand, it's incredible how much work goes behind the scenes, which I'm sure people probably don't appreciate and kind of just see us as entering an international tournament. But look, third time lucky in this tournament. Hopefully all goes well, and we'll take a strong team over there, and to represent and to captain the team is definitely an honour.
Nice. And then new man in the role, another general in the field. I'd like to introduce to the floor Wayne Roberts, coming into the men's team as goalkeeper coach. I'd like to say a few words, Wayne.
Hello everyone, nice to meet everyone. Yeah, as I say, I'm the new boy on board unfortunately, so they've got a couple of me now. But I'm the head keeper up at Newquay, and I foresee the progression of the youth. I've got the 9s, 11s, 13s, 15s, 16s, 23s and the first team, so I've got 11 keepers at the moment. So it's been noted, I think, that we've put a lot of effort with them, and then obviously I'm here now. It's a massive compliment to be on board for this, and looking forward to new challenges with new keepers, so onwards and upwards.
A big part of what Wayne's sort of what has been sort of picked up for us is his clarity of thinking, how he sort of develops keepers and what level he can unlock, unlocking the potential of the people that he's working with, and what level that he has no bounds on where people can get to is essential. But he's a team player and a winner, and I'm absolutely delighted to have him on board.
Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's a key position, looking after the keepers now, big part of the team. So looking forward to that one. Cheers. What we'll also touch on as well going forward, we're going to hit the tournaments first, but we'll also be touching on new business partners and how that will affect the community and hopefully the economy at large. And with us today, we've got the head of one of those partners, in Jill Newton, being obviously operational in Cornwall for nearly 40 years. And it's a great partnership. I feel absolutely privileged to be working alongside someone that's put so much into the game. So we'll pick that up a little bit later. And I think what we're going to start with the inclusive. We're going to start with the tournaments, the ladies. Yeah, ladies first, obviously. And I think we're going to pass it over to you, Si, really. Okay. Just to sort of lead us in, touch on the tournament, the opportunities that are available that we're currently working on, and we'll sort of take it from there. And I think we've got a word from Connie for Global Women's Director as well, haven't we? So yeah, take it away, mate. So it brings us up to speed.
So the ladies are looking to take part, or are taking part in the Women's World Cup in Tibet. They are looking at the 1st of July. The team started very well. We built up a very good team with many players from different parts of the county, even some that have moved further afield and gone higher teams as such, more national teams as well. And we've got players from national league teams that are willing to come down and play for us. We started off with trials and open sessions earlier in the year. Due to COVID and everything as well, that obviously put a stop to a few things. But we're well prepared now. We played a couple of games there. We played against Callington, which was a great experience, and then travelled all the way down to Wimbledon as well. So players are getting very much engaged with what we're doing, which is fantastic, and there's going to be more players coming into the field and into the team. And the squad is really family orientated. It seems that there's a strong bond. There was a game yesterday for Cornwall as well, county squad. Many of the Kernow players was in the team, which is fantastic, and they come away 5-2 winners there, which is pleasing to hear and pleasing to watch also. So we're in great spirits. We've got friendlies coming up also, and still to be arranged and finalised as such, but we're in a very, very strong position.
Yeah. And what do you think the chances are of the expect tournament happening?
It's well underway at the moment. There's still a few things that need to be put in place from the Tibetan side in terms of pitches and accommodation. But it's well underway. A lot of the players are getting involved now and asking questions, which is fantastic. And I would always encourage the players to do that. Also the community as well. So we're asking for the community to get involved, also get behind the ladies, and support us in any way they can do as well. It is a community team, and we'd like also the community and businesses to get behind us also.
Yeah.
But there's future opportunities going as well, so if any players, I am currently going around meeting many of the teams and the managers who have been very, very engaging, and I really applaud them for that and thank you for it. And there's still opportunities for players to come on board, so if they're interested, please do get in touch with myself. I'll come down and have a look at yourself, or you're more than welcome to come down to any of the open sessions that will be coming out shortly.
Any coaching possibilities?
It's,
the players,
especially the players I've spoken to directly. There's a few hidden gems within the teams.
Wow.
One possibly going on to take an A licence also, and there's some that have taken their level 2 in going on to UEFA badges. I'd encourage ladies to come forward. We're still looking for additional coaches. I am myself. I'm open to speak to a few people. It's male, female. Not a problem. They'd like to obviously get involved, and we can have a talk with Jason. Especially from within the teams, I really like that they come on board. They help the coach, and also that the opportunities are endless really. If they'd like to go on and take their coaching badges, like I've spoken to yourself, Jason, there are opportunities there, and we support you in every single way that we can.
So I think we've got a nice word coming from Valerie Dalton from the US, shouting California. She's a revered coach.
Fantastic lady, actually.
Yeah, and I think the girls that resonated with her immediately, didn't they? The opportunities that she wants to open up in America.
It's the way she speaks to the ladies as well, very engaging. It's someone that inspiring to me, as well as the coach, as well as the players, and I look forward to working with more.
Yeah, nice. And I think on that note, we've got a word from Valerie Dalton.
Hello everyone, I'm Valerie Dalton, the Global Director of Kernow Women's Football. I'm thrilled and honored for this opportunity to be part of today's announcements. It is an exciting time to be in a women's game, and Kernow members are leading the way in building women's football globally. What I see in Kernow FA is an organization with a strong commitment to its players in order to advance women's football both locally and globally. And I couldn't be more excited to work with the Kernow FA women to help them achieve their goals. With so many upcoming opportunities to showcase their talents, I'm particularly excited to watch the Kernow women play on the world stage at Knif's first Women's World Cup this summer in Paota Cholsum Tibetan settlement in the foothills of the Himalayas. To see who Kernow will be playing, stay tuned for the Women's World Cup draw that takes place on April 24th. The coming year is huge for Knif women, and the Kernow FA women are playing a big part in the growth and recognition of women's football. I can't wait to watch them play. We'll see you on the pitch.
Proper player is Valerie, isn't she? Amazing. Yeah, she had a good playing career as well. I think that pretty much wraps up ladies' side.
We could move on to the no limits, the inclusive side of things, which I think is your side as well, Simon.
Yes, it is, yeah. So
Big part.
it is a very big part, and it's an opportunity that I'm very proud and privileged to be part of, and I appreciate that, Jason, for the opportunity to start off with, and the opportunity that the players have here in front of us. There's a lot of the players here, and very thankful for you lot for coming down as well. It's been a fantastic start. Disability football is really, really taking off. It's across the country, not just the county. It's really, really starting to grow. And the southwest and Cornwall and Kernow is really getting there. We've obviously got Matty here as well that I'll pass over to in a second, how it means for a player to be included as well. We started well. We've gone into our first competition in Wiltshire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That you come down and against some very strong oppositions such as Surrey CP for example, and South-West Cerebral Palsy that have many international players in, not just England but Scotland as well and other counties, other nations. We went in there, won 5 games, won the competition, and that was just the starting block really. We then went on to we're now in a league format with South-West Cerebral Palsy, Handball, Wellington, some very, very established disability teams. And we won all 5 of those also. So currently 10 out of 10. With Matt being the goalkeeper, star goalkeeper for the original back in Wiltshire. We've got many more competitions coming up. We've got one on the 19th of March, our second round of fixtures of our league, getting prepared. We are speaking to other international teams, but also from some very established teams also, from different nations that are offering us friendlies. It's absolutely fantastic. From the players' point of view, Matt, how do you feel?
It's a great opportunity, yeah. For me and all the boys, I've seen how well they can all play. I can't see us having a problem with us going abroad.
Yeah. Nice. It's been fantastic. We've got the philosophy that many of the players have been coached by me previously, but we've got a lot that travel from Bridgewater, so many of them play for the Bridgewater Cerebral Palsy team, and they travel from within Kernow all the way down there. So the commitment to disability football is really strong. We've got players that play for myself at Plymouth Warriors. We've got Matt who travels from Red Roof, just locally, just down the road, and you travel down to a lot of the competitions. We've got Gary here, I'll mention yourself. How do you feel that we play as a team, and what do you think our chances are when we're obviously over into Savinetta in Italy?
Even though we're as a team and we all play as individuals or separate teams, I think as a team when we play together, I think we're, like you say, we're quite a close-knit family. I think we know how to play like against each other, so we use that to play with each other, if you know what I mean. So we all know where to play balls, who needs to drop back and get the game sort of flowing. I think when we're attacking, I think we literally just we pass the ball in the little gaps, and we try not to, as individuals, move the ball. We try and do it as a team. Like if we attack and we've got nothing going, we will pass back and we use the old team and we will break down the team. And I think, to be fair, defensively we are quite strong because we don't concede very many. Luckily for Matt in goal, he doesn't really have to do anything. but as a team, I think when we from kick-off, if it's 1-0 that we finish the game, or say 8-0, we just keep going.
Yeah.
We don't stop.
Yeah, that is definitely the philosophy, 100% from the top. Would you say, James?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And just to touch on what we said, we kind of like to play the football the same throughout. Doesn't matter, men's, women's, inclusive. We like to keep the same philosophy, and like I said, that will go and keep hopefully for a long period of time.
Yeah, I think it's the philosophy. You can only build from the philosophy, can't you? And I think you've done great work there, mate. I really do. Where is that next tournament? Part of the tournament to be held?
Yeah, it's a league format. We're playing three league fixtures at Bridgewater.
Right, okay.
So alongside South-West Cerebral Palsy, they put two teams in. We've got Handball and Wellington that are pan disability and cerebral palsy teams. So the next one's on 19th of March. So if anyone wishes to come down and support the lads, please feel free to. And anyone else that would like to join the team, I will be going down to Cornwall Ability Counts as well as Devon Ability Counts, where some of these from Kernow is playing currently. So there is an opportunity still to get involved. So it's not closed doors if you'd like me to come down and watch yourself. I'm very much heavily included in disability myself. I play disability football, and I've played against Gary, for example, who's he's an Exeter lad. He plays for Exeter City, so there's a bit of rivalry there, from away from Kernow. But as a team, as Gary mentioned, we all come together, and it's a family community, isn't it? Really, we all play together. We train hard, but we always try to win when we come to that.
Yeah, play to win.
We always do.
We always play to win. And I think, yeah.
So we've got 2 videos to back up and congratulate as well,
Yeah.
some of the things that Simon's been saying. So if you could introduce the first one, it's the one you sent me yesterday from another international player.
Sorry?
Is that correct? From another
Yes,
international player?
Daniel, yes. Daniel's very nice. He plays with Barnsley. He's the goalkeeper, young goalkeeper from Barnsley. He come over from West Ham, under 23s. So he moved over there, and I believe his contract ended. And it was a very nice message. So I'll pass over to Daniel, Janadu from Barnsley. Lovely.
Hi guys, heard you guys are competing in the European Championships in Italy soon, and just wanted to wish you guys all the best. Whenever I had to play a big game or anything, what comforted me is that just thinking about it as showtime. It's time to showcase that all the hard work you've been putting in training, what you've been learning from your coaches and everything. Time to show what you can do. So yeah, just wish you guys all the best. Make sure you enjoy it and work hard and bring it home.
Exactly.
That's a nice message.
So we just have one more video as well, sorry, just a bit behind the scenes. One more video as well, which is from a member of Knifa's executive committee, Francesco Zima, one of your colleagues.
I haven't seen this myself, actually.
That's
so
a little surprise for you.
Oh, that's really nice. I appreciate that.
So we're just getting ready to gear up his video now. So could you just introduce Francesco and just give a bit of information on his role?
Do you want me to run with that one?
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah.
So Francesco Zima is a good friend, but is also an incredibly professional man in the world of inclusive football. He has written the first white paper on international inclusive football for players with disabilities. One didn't exist, FIFA did not have one, he wrote it. He studied all of the sort of inclusive football all around the world and managed to put together a white paper that ultimately led to No Limits movement in Kernow. It's the first international take on football for players with disabilities in the world. Staggering piece of work. I've championed him over the last 2 years. Incredibly dedicated human being. And I couldn't say enough about this guy. He's just such a beautiful person, and I know that he's got a nice message for us today.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Muted on the.
My name is Francesco Zema, and I'm the CNIFA Global Director for No Limits initiatives. The first hub dedicated to sport for inclusion actions, cultural actions, and grassroots programs dedicated for youth, adolescents, women, and people with all abilities. Let me say thank you to my friends of Kernow FA, especially my dear friend Jason Eaton and Andrew Bragg, who invited me to participate in such a beautiful day, fantastic opportunity to retake a conversation about all the beautiful things done by the Kernow FA. I will say a few things. I'm very happy to work in alliance with Kernow FA, one of the most engaged football federation within the CNIFA world, and also one of the most beautiful places in our CNIFA world. You guys are always passionate and ready to accept all the challenges, fight for the inclusion, the innovation throughout football. So I would say thank you for all the things you've done so far, for accepting all our initiatives, especially my initiative in the No Limits area. And I can see that you are a pioneer when it comes to offer brand new opportunities to your community. So thanks for all the work you are carrying on, and let me say, most of all, I would like to say thank you, Jason, Andrew, and Tom, for all the cooperation, the fantastic work that you did for the Khalifa and for the Khalifa Limits. So once again, thanks, and hope to come there one day and visit your fantastic place. Come on, Kernow.
I think if you're watching Francesco, I think I speak for everyone when I say you're very welcome to come and see us, especially with your come on Kernow, right from the heart of Italy there. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and he'd actually just travelled back from Valencia this week and tried to squeeze that in for us this morning. And I know that when I ring him later and say he forgot to mention Simon, it'll be mortified. So there we are. But I know you work with him on a daily basis, so you just read him later. But one thing I will mention that really helped him get that white paper together to write the constitution for the sport in the world is that he thought that England FA was the actual front runner in the world on dealing with players with their own special challenges and disabilities and such like, and there's nowhere actually quite like it in the world as an FA. And it did take a lot of guide from that, and it's one thing that he always stipulates, so I just thought I'd put that in there as well. And then I think we could, off the back of those beautiful messages, move swiftly on.
Yes, I think we've had our some lovely messages from our sort of wider football family around the world there. So we've talked. Kernow FA is completely inclusive, as you've seen. If we now move on, after speaking about our ladies and No Limits teams, if we now move on to our men's, we've obviously got the captain James Ward there, director of football Andrew Bragg. If you could say some words and a bit of a presentation on what's to come for the men's this year.
With you, Andrew.
Right. I think we all know we've qualified for the last two tournaments, the World Cup and the European Football Cup. Unfortunately, were cancelled. Now we are aiming for the European Football Cup in Nice, starting on the 3rd of June. It's a 12-team tournament. We've been drawn in the same group as South Ossetia, which is in Georgia, and Artsakh, which is a part of Azerbaijan. South Ossetia are the current European champions. We obviously don't know much what their squad is at the moment, same with Artsakh. We're going over to Nice with the strongest squad we can put together. Since we started Kernow FA, this is the third anniversary of when we actually played our first game at St Austell against Vauxhall. And I think all of us are very pleased to say that the majority of our squad are still together from that first game. Obviously, as we've evolved, we're starting to bring on younger players that have only enhanced the team. We seem to be improving every time we play. The amount of time we get with the players is not ideal because obviously all very busy, all playing for top Cornish teams and top teams around England and Europe. We're going to take a squad of 20 with us to Nice. We're in the process at the moment of checking everyone's availability. You have to be double vaccinated to be able to get into France at the moment. We've had a lot of confirmation already. Myself, Darren Gilbert, Andrew Graham and Wayne we're going to be sitting down in the next 2 weeks to get our squad together. Obviously, I don't need to say how amazing an occasion it is going to be going over there. We're very lucky to have formed a partnership with Macron, with Jill Newton, who will be providing us with some new kit to wear at this tournament. Also, we're new on with tracksuit tops and polo shirts. In the warm-up to Nice, we'll be looking to get the players together for 5-6 training sessions. Hopefully we'll be looking to get them together for a friendly. I've been in discussions with Kashmir about bringing them down to Cornwall after the domestic season finishes, but before we go to Nice. The squad should be announced within the next 3 weeks. Obviously we've got to have a sit down, have a big chat. I think we're there. Yeah, I think we're near enough ready to go. It's going to be an awesome occasion, and I'm hoping to go over there, and I'm hoping for this man here to be on June the 12th to be lifting the trophy over there and bringing it back to Cornwall. So yeah, I'm done with that one. Wayne, have you anything to add?
No, I'm just really looking forward to it as well. Looking forward to being on board, and obviously I'm always going to be pro goalkeeper and providing that emotional and physical support for those guys, because it's a bit of a niche market, isn't it? So yeah, it's great to be on board. Looking forward to talking about the squad and seeing who I'm going to be working with. You know, obviously I've got the privilege that I can potentially, when people are named, I can go and work with them individually. So because it's I want a bit of consistency of that with my goalkeepers, as that's the whole role with it basically. So, but yeah, onwards and upwards, isn't it?
Yeah, and James, anything for you to add to this, for this tournament, and how you're looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's an exciting tournament, and obviously the previous interviews I've had with papers and stuff, just I've said not to get too carried away, because the last 2 times I got carried away, it never happened. So I'm very confident this will happen. It's an exciting journey for us as well. Obviously, we've still got maybe 10 or 11 games left of the domestic season, so you've got some teams that are challenging for titles. You've got some guys playing obviously very good standard football. So hopefully all the players get healthy through those games and ready to go in mindset for the tournament. In terms of to touch on with our training sessions that we will hopefully get together, and sort of pre-tournament games is those training sessions will be very intense. The intensity of the squads is going to be very high, and also those sessions will be treated as a sort of a scouting ground to get the players in. You know, we're probably about 90% there in terms of the squads, but in my view, I still think we probably need 1 or 2 in that squad as well, and players probably don't take their positions for granted, because I don't think people appreciate how talented players that we have within the county, and I think this is kind of a great opportunity for us to put ourselves on the market. That's one thing. The second thing is as well is to go to an international tournament, which has never been done before. That sets history itself, but also it's a new area for Kernow to put ourselves on the market, and you never know where it's going to lead players. You know, in terms of playing careers or whatever their aspirations are. I just think it's such an unbelievable opportunity, and the players that we've got, so confident that we'll do something over there for sure.
Yes, definitely. And what we'd love to do is take as many of the Cornish supporters with us. We have had great support everywhere we've gone. We went to Northwood earlier this year, and there were loads of people who travelled up for Cornish to support us there. The support we get over all our social media platforms is just as immense. So we just want the whole county to get behind us and support us when we go to Nice.
Nation. Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah, and I think just to reiterate what James was saying there about the intensity of the squad and the mindset preparation for going to an international tournament, it has to be intense. You won't be getting on the plane if you're not switched on to being involved, and once you land in that country, giving everything in order to make sure that everyone within the team has the right support across the board and put us in that best place. Isn't it? It's just how it is. Going away to tournaments, we've got, it's a tough place to go. And these teams, they might not be the most well-known teams, but you go to a country and it's a national team for that country, and it doesn't get any more intense than that. We can't be we can't be kidding ourselves, and not that we would. So I think it's something definite to look forward to now, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, I've noticed that the boys that put on the Kernow shirt, they just it seems to make them step their game up. Not saying they don't for their clubs, but when they all get together, like you were saying, when you get all together to play for Kernow, and they go out there, they just seem to step another level. I mean, when we went to Cascadia, if you looked at the teams on paper, you'd have said we shouldn't have had a chance with the team, you know, with the teams their players play for. But we went there and we just wiped the floor with them. And I can't really see any reason why we can't go over to Nice and bring back the silverware from there.
No. I think that's been the same for all three teams, though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They put the shirt on, and things just change. And actually, you know, football does the talking ultimately. We can stand around spouting off all day, but football does the talking. And we're not in any doubt as to what we're doing means to players and football in general. So we're absolutely delighted with that. Is there anything anyone more would like to add? Matt, Opie, Simon, with relation to what we've got going on? We all good?
Good.
Very good. Yeah. Excellent.
Fantastic. I'd just like to second the support, the mention that Andrew made there of the support we've had from the Cornish people, and I'd like to talk a bit more about new partnerships in a second with a few people that are here, and then we've got a couple of live links lined up as well, all being well. But before then, we just wanted to touch upon the London Design Museum and a fantastic opportunity that Kernow is part of in conjunction with CNIFA and the London Design Museum itself. An exhibition promoting Cornish culture, and Kernow FA is a huge part of that on an international scale. I don't know if one of you gentlemen will be able to perhaps mention a few more words about the exhibition itself and Cornwall's part in it.
Yeah, it's been an exhibition that has been trying to get off the ground for the last 18 months. It got put back slightly for obvious reasons, but now it's fully ready to go. It's also in conjunction with the Cooper Hewitt Design Museum in New York. It's at the Carnegie building on 5th Avenue. They're running the sort of same exhibition. It is a privilege to be involved, and it is predominantly, you know, CNIFA and people and teams stand for around the world. And Kernow FA has managed to get itself a great seat within the exhibition, and I think we should all be very proud of where we've managed to get ourselves and how we're looking to be represented. You know, these are two sort of key institutions in the world, and it's just an absolute pleasure to be involved. You know, the actual shirt, the design, what it means, and the fact that we even exist as you know, as a nice little pinnacle for that exhibition as well. Yeah, and to be in the mix with some of those people is just amazing. So, and they've just been so great to deal with. Really looking forward to the opening ceremony on April the 7th at the London Design Museum. So looking forward to that. Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity, just to reiterate what you said, a fantastic opportunity to not only talk about football in Cornwall, but also culture in Cornwall and history as well. And with international visitors in both London and in New York as well, a real conversation starter. And Kernow FA and Cornwall are right at the head of the table for that as well. So lots of exciting things to come from that, and you will hear a lot more about that moving forward. We talked about our new partnerships. We've got a lot of, well, I keep saying friends in football here today as well. So we've been talking about Great Annual Savings, a bit more on them later.
Yeah.
Your partnerships, again, a bit more on them too. We've got our friends from Kernow Matters to Us.
All in the room.
Yeah, Jill here from Macron Store Cornwall as well. Jason, would you be, or Andrew, would you just like to lead just a thank you and just an introduction to our
well, I think I'd just like to mention the sort of flags element. All the flags that you see out today, all the banners, kindly passed over and brought in. We've got James, the back of the room there, Tony, long-term supporter. Been at the first game, been at every single press conference. These flags have come from all over Cornwall. They've been brought from sort of Helston, Redroof, over at Falmouth, come from all over the place. And I know that they've been out on the streets with these flags as well over the last few years. And we'd just like to say a massive thank you to them. I think going forward, the press conferences would like them to be more adorned with flags from around the nation. and I think that would be a nice way to be representative going forward. It's always a pleasure to have you in the room, and such an honour to know that we're supported by the very people that we look to represent. That is the most important thing, so it's always great to have you here, guys. On the partnerships front, just where are we up to, Tom? Have we got any sort of images?
We're just arranging the live link now with Graham.
Okay, so I'll touch on the Macron Store Southwest again.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so obviously we've got Jill in the room, and we did have a little bit of a deliberation of you know, kit and moving forward and what we thought would be best in terms of the sort of nation appeal, and you know, for those that have really time served in football, and also how they're looking to go forward and develop the game. And ultimately Macron Store Southwest, run by Jill Newton, and she's got some Paul in there, with Johnny Ludlam in there as well, former player. Once we'd had a look at it, there was nowhere else for us to go really. Nothing really made sense above and beyond that. There's a synergy there, quality of service that means exactly the same to both of us, and something we're absolutely delighted with and really proud to represent. Andrew, would you say?
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, I've known Jill for a very long time. Football royalty in Cornwall, we like to call her. Yeah, and also with Johnny in there as well. Obviously, still actually playing occasionally for Wales up.
Is that right?
Yeah, put the gloves on in goal the other day. But no, there is nowhere else. And the quality of Macron kit, I think you supply most of the teams in Cornwall now, Jill, don't you? And the quality that they've shown us and the service they've given us has just been absolutely amazing. So yeah, we're very proud and very happy to have you on board, Jill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Likewise.
And that we're going to touch on now, we're just going to touch on a new partnership initiative with a company called Great Annual Savings Group. Born out of the northeast of England, from people who have played within the game, and but big supporters of the community.
They're raving.
They're a phenomenal outfit as a company. They've sort of been in operation in Cornwall now for over a year. They look to work with businesses and their services and help them to coordinate the costs associated with business by providing services to them. A great outfit, service orientated, high quality company. And we've partnered with them as a community project of choice. So we'll be working with them so that we'll enable them to be operational within the county, and then in part they will be releasing funds and profit from any business that they generate through us that will enable us to take players and staff to tournaments. As we all know, Kernow Football Alliance is a volunteer-run organisation. It's a not-for-profit, but also we've never taken any money out, but we are in a situation where we need to get money in so that we can make all these beautiful things happen. And a Great Annual Savings Group hit the brief perfectly when we discussed the type of companies that we'd like to work with. You know, and it's the community aspect, but there's a strong footballing aspect that exists with Great Annual Savings Group. The representative down here, Jim Shaw, is a former player, had good runs out to professional and semi-professional level this Sunday. He's now at Plymouth Argyle. He couldn't be with us today because he's got to take his son to play Leicester. But we are going to be having a live link with the Partnerships Director, Phil Andrews, from up at Spennymoor Football Club. It's a club that has been rejuvenated by Great Annual Savings Group getting involved, running its community projects, and they've rebuilt the stadium, created a lot of teams, but they've also created a lot of apprenticeships, 200 to 300 over the last couple of years, which is staggering. They invest in people and skills, and I think across the board, I think there's maybe 300 to 400 full-time jobs as well with what they've achieved. Definitely in line with how we operate and how we think, and even from our own business perspective, we've always invested back in people And really, it's something that certainly meant a lot to me and you over the years, hasn't it? Apprenticeships and retraining people and such like. So a phenomenal outfit, and I think there's a lot of strength on strength there that we'd like to incorporate into our being and hopefully into the wider community. What we'll be doing is linking up live with Phil.
Fingers crossed. It happens when you get a call, see.
Yeah, this is it. Phil, although Partnerships Director, is also responsible for the actual building of the company over the last decade. Is certainly the right person to have in and around us as an energy.
So I'd just like to introduce Phil Andrew here, Partnerships Director for Great Andrew Savings Group. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks for the link up.
Absolutely, of course. So I'm not sure if you heard the fantastic introduction Jason gave you there. I think you might have unfortunately missed it, but he was speaking very highly of the partnership and the hard work that you guys have been putting in. So just looking through some questions I have here for you. You're Partnerships Director, and you're the mastermind for the design and implementation of community initiatives. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. At Great Annual Savings and across Spennymoor Town Football Club as well.
Fantastic. Where does this drive, one thing that's really struck me, this drive, where does that come from to add value to communities and local businesses? Why is that so important?
First of all, I think from a Great Annual Savings perspective, that's what we do. We link businesses together. We're looking to help them drive their costs down, and that's a big thing at the moment. But also we were really keen to ensure that we also help develop the communities in which we work. I caught Jason earlier on talking about being from the northeast, and that was where we're based, but we've got 300 colleagues up and down all of the UK. They're all part of the communities in which they work, so we were really keen to ensure that whatever work we do and the businesses that we interact with and the partnerships that we generate across the UK, that we do something in that community as well, because communities are only as successful as the businesses that work in that community. And when we've linked up with you guys, there's some real good synergies between what we've been doing certainly in the northeast and what you guys are trying to do in Cornwall as well. So yeah, we're really keen to see what else we can do together.
Fantastic. How do you intertwine football with that as well? It's a really interesting concept.
Yeah, well, football's really the link. Again, if we look at the club here in the northeast, Spennymoor Town, again, not unlike some of the communities there in Cornwall, it's a town that's been built traditionally on the mining community. And again, like some of the tin mines that have gone in Cornwall, the same in the northeast with the coal mines. But what kept a lot of the communities together was football. So the clubs that are still operating across all of the northeast and indeed all the way across the UK tend to have real, especially the local clubs, the smaller clubs tend to have really big links with their local communities. So what we've done is really we've put that together with Great Annual Savings and the football club. And what we actually do is we interact with businesses via the football clubs and things like the business clubs that we operate out of the club. We also have over 600 kids at the academy at the football club as well, and we interact with all of the parents there because again there's a lot of business owners that are associated with the club. Then you add in things like directors and sponsors, and that's a big business community that again is linked back to what is relatively small club from humble beginnings.
As we can see, you're at Spennymoor today. We've heard back from some of our friends at Plymouth Parkway that the stadium's got a really nice family feel to it and has a professional element at the same time. That's something obviously we here at Kernow FA are trying to implement and promote. What has it meant to the local area getting Spennymoor to where it is now?
Oh, I mean, we've moved heaven and earth over the last few years, and that's been down really to Brad Groves, the chairman, and Tony Wilson, the MD. And again, it's making sure that you never lose that community spirit. If we look today, for example, it's a town of 20,000 people. We'll have nearly 2,000 people at the game today. So it's really important to the local community, for one. It's also important from a health and well-being perspective. And again, it's those traditional roots. If you look at the history of football, the reason why we kick off at 3 o'clock, for example, that has its roots back in industry and making sure people could get to the match on a Saturday afternoon. So yeah, the football element has become so important both to the business but also to the local community as well. So it's just nice to see the crowds have grown year on year, and we hope that continues and we can attract more people from the area. So yeah, football is just so important. The links there to community and business, I can't stress it enough.
Wonderful. Just one final question, Phil. You're a company that's based on incredible service and transparency. How are you looking to affect the economy here in Cornwall, and what would you like to see happen?
Yeah, I think, as I've touched on there before, we're looking really to link those businesses together via the football club and see how we can help impact their spends, especially now. You must have been living under a rock if you haven't read the news on things like the oil prices and the gas prices. Businesses are under a lot of strain. So if we can actually help businesses reduce their costs or manage their costs, then that can only help, coupled with any support we can have in that local area for the community side as well. And it's a big win for both parties. So yeah, we're looking really to work with you guys down there and come up with a really good plan that can have a real positive impact on all the businesses around Cornwall.
Phil, it's excellent that you could join us today, especially with the game coming up as well. Wish you all the very, very best, and thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us and to Cornwall and to all the people watching on the live stream as well.
Brilliant. Good luck, everybody. Excellent initiative.
Cheers, Phil.
Down there, and anything we can do to support, we certainly will.
Fantastic. Phil, Andrew, we really appreciate it. Thank you and take care.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Excellent. And I think with the sort of partnerships thing now going forward, we'll just wait for Tom to come back in the room, and I think then we're going to link to North Sweden to speak with Global CONIFA President Per Anders Blind. And we'll just wait for that little link to come in.
I want to introduce CONIFA Global President Per Anders Blind into the meeting. Fantastic you can join us. Where in the world are you, Per?
Well, I have to say greetings from the Arctic Circle and far up north of Sweden.
Fantastic. I believe you've been somewhere else in the world this week as well, been in globe-trotting?
Yeah, it has been a busy week as usual. I actually arrived back from Valencia yesterday evening, so it has been quite hectic, really fantastic journey. It's an honor to be able to reach this fantastic moment together with you, all of you.
It's a pleasure to have you involved. We've had a message from Francesca Zima, who I know was with you this week as well, so we've been honoured. I know you guys are very busy. We've been very honoured to grab a few moments of your time. For the people in the room or watching the stream, could you just give us a bit of a rundown for people that may not be familiar with CONIFA? I know that may take 10 minutes, but a short rundown of just an introduction to CONIFA for the few people that may not be aware of the organisation.
Well, first of all, a brief introduction will probably take 2 or 3 days, but I will try to do my best. CONIFA is a non-profit organization registered in Sweden. It came to alive 2013, actually on Isle of Man, 6th of July 2013. And it has been a fantastic journey from that time. Today we are representing more than 700 million people all over the world, and we are expanding all the time. We have received new membership applications from all over the world every month. At the moment we are expanding a lot in both Africa and South America, but all the continents are in a growth mode. Together with that, we're also expanding in terms of activities. So far we have come through with a couple of World Cups and Continental Championships in Europe, but now we are heading forward to the first ever Women World Cup. That will be a historical moment in CONIFA's history, but also in the football history of the world, because now Khalifa has become a powerhouse in football, similar to Kernow, who become a powerhouse connecting Kurdish people all around the world. I'm really impressed and amazed about all the fantastic achievements that you have done so far. It's a world-class act, and especially thank you to Andrew, Jason, you Tom, and Simon, and all the people that are engaged in Kernow FM. You are role models, and it shows that Cornwall isn't only a front side of UK, the geographical side, it's also a front side when it comes to building a solid platform and a good organizational structure. So now it's time to level up and also perform on the pitch. So I'm really looking forward to follow you this summer, actually. But coming back to Khalifa, now today Khalifa has become, there's many layers in Khalifa today. We are working so much when it comes to social inclusion, to gender equality, and there are things that we have to do. There is things that we seem to do right, because we have a global attention now. Media follow us every step we are taking, so it's a fantastic honor, but also a huge responsibility, because we are affecting millions of people all around the world. So it's an honor, but also a fantastic and enormous responsibility.
I was going to ask you, we've got a number of players here today from different factions of Kernow FA, so male, female, and our inclusive no limits team. What is the reaction you get from sort of players and coaches and member associations, teams and things like that to the work that Khalifa puts in to support them?
Well, so far so good. they really, it's only positive feedback actually, because if you look at the players, what Khalifa have done now is open up a completely new sports market, a global sports market actually. So now we have a lot of, during our tournaments we have a lot of player agents that are following all the games. Just recently, from my own people, the Sápmi people up north, there was a Finnish midfielder that he just signed off a 3.5-year agreement with the Bologna FC, the Italian Serie A club. And I also know that Kernow have a really dangerous midfielder, but he's playing in Sweden now. But he will probably join your team in this summer. But what is also worth mentioning is that it is so much more than football, because what's happening during our tournaments is, first of all, what you receive is a memory of life, for life. And you also establish friendships that actually are lifelong with people all around the world, because Khalifa today is a global family of not only sport but also love. There's a huge show of respect and understanding for cultural differences and people from different areas all around the world. So it's an amazing family actually.
Absolutely, family is a key word you keep bringing up today. That's a fantastic conclusion. Kernow yesterday celebrated 3 years since our first fixture. I can't believe it's been that long, really, and almost 3.5 years since we were sort of accepted into the Khalifa fold and voted in, which is fantastic. What have you seen from Kernow FA? What has the impact been? You've obviously watched from afar. We'd be delighted to welcome you to Cornwall at some stage. But what is your opinion, viewing from your platform on Kernow FA?
Yeah, what I've done, I haven't had the possibility to follow the games live or through internet. But what I've seen is from pictures and also been the reports given by Jason and you, and we might talk with Simon. I'm actually amazed about your work so far. It's actually world class. I said it before, but I must repeat myself because it's really, really amazing done. And now when you are, if you're talking about the main football side, you played some matches, but now when you're entering the European Championship, I just have to warn you, or at least alert you that playing at Conifa tournament is really, really tough because there's a lot of games in a very few days. So the key to success is actually recovery. To recover between the games and also bring your physiotherapist with you, so you can have decent massage afterwards. But I also seen the inclusive side when it comes to the development of disabled football, and Simon has done a fantastic work there, and they contribute a lot also to the development of the disabled football in Europe from Conifa. So I only have positive things to say when it comes to Kernow FA.
No, please don't apologise. Fantastic. We just like to thank you for joining us today and for helping us in the support and the love that Conifa has shown to Kernow FA in this past 3.5, 4 years. We will continue working alongside yourselves and our fellow members, opening doors and creating new culture and history and celebrating everything that's great and good about Conifa and its member associations. Thank you once again, Per, we really appreciate it.
The pleasure was mine. I wish you good luck today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Global President Per Anders Blind from the Arctic Circle. And I think that's safe to say that concludes the press conference, finishing on that high note. Tom, beautiful. That
Well done, Tom.
There is one very special thank you that we need to make sure we're putting in the end here, and it's to thank David Jones and Becky McNichol, the proprietors of Kernow Resilience Hub. The support that we've had in being able to put this event on, and to be able to come from a place of this sort of level of thinking and have that synergy and be able to work together has been phenomenal, and has really helped us. It's really put us in a place where we're able to project ourselves full of confidence, and I'd just like to say a massive thank you for that. I think we've all agreed that the facilities are absolutely top notch. And it's great to be sort of working in an environment like this.
Massive thank you to everyone who's turned up.
Yeah.
Massive thank you to everyone who's tuned in on the stream and watched it. Everyone who will be watching it. And as we said earlier, just get behind all the Cornish teams, please, everyone. I know all 3 teams will do you proud whenever we go away and whenever we pull on that shirt. Thank you.
One last personal one from me. Is that okay?
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Katie, my wife, for tolerating me and allowing me to crack on with these things when there's other things I suppose I should be doing at home, and just for giving me the space to be able to see this through and do what we need to do. So that's just from me. So thank you, sweetheart. But other than that, has anyone got anything more to add? Anything more anyone wants to say? Any questions from the floor? Tony.
Tony will be. When you are abroad in England and further afield,
yeah,
how do other teams see Cornwall as? Do they sit there and say, "But you know, why has Cornwall got a football team?" How do they see the Cornish recognition?
I don't think they do. I think Cornwall is quite recognised as a nation beyond the borders. Outside of England, especially in Europe, we get emails on a regular basis asking if we could send Cornish flags out to them because of the sort of resilience, fortitude and what it stands for in the world as a people. And they want to hang up St. Piran's flags in their house from places that have had a hard time of it.
Yeah.
It really brings a lot of strength to people, doesn't it?
Yeah, war-torn places, and as Pounder said, Conifa represents 700 million people, around the world, They don't really recognise England, they recognise Cornwall.
Yeah.
We are the members, we're not a part of England. We are Kernow FA that represents the Cornish people.
Yeah.
Very
And it's
good.
definitely,
Brilliant.
and it's 100% seen as a Celtic nation.
Yeah, as we should be.
Yeah, which it,
yeah.
and it's just right. I had a nice email in from a lad in Ireland, Malef, and he's their school, his actual geography teacher is the football manager of the school football team, and he's using Conifa as a way of getting people to look at different countries and places around the world. And he was a follower of Kernow FA anyway, but he's also now, he pulled Kernow FA out of the hat to be able to get in touch and then represent it back in his school. So we're going to be doing a little live link with his school back in Ireland, and just being able to chat about that and keep that communication open for people that are really interested.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic people, brilliant.
He was overjoyed.
Yeah, it was absolutely made. Yeah, it's made up. One that he got Kernow and two that we'll do a live link with him. So, but great question, Tony.
I think just to add to your
Oh,
question,
thank you.
if I may interject, I think it's a fantastic question. Working within Kernow FA and within Conifa as well, you see both sides of things. So you see inside the membership association and how things work behind the scenes, but you also see the other side of things as well, the international scale. And I think with Kernow FA, the reaction from fellow members and from press and from sponsors and partners has been a fantastic thing to behold, because when people come and ask me a question, they'll say, well, how is Kernow doing? What's going on with Kernow? Could you tell me some more about Cornwall or Kernow? And this is with documentary filmmakers, for example, photographers around the world, people that we are just picking up in the Conifa International fold who are also interested in the Kernow cause, about Cornwall. So many of the conversations I have on an international level always revert back to Cornwall and Kernow. So people all around the world, under the bracket of Conifa, the conversation is happening. This diaspora, they're all popping up and talking about Cornwall and Kernow. And it's a discussion now that's happening on an international level, supported by what Kernow FA is doing.
Yeah.
And there are some really exciting projects that we haven't mentioned now that are working away in the background to really promote Cornwall culturally, historically, visually. So there are some things that are working away in the background that we hope to be able to announce in due course, but Kernow is definitely at the top table and in the conversation.
Perfect.
And the respect has been quite humbling.
Thank you for flying the flag.
Yeah, and I think how best we thought it would be to represent Cornwall has actually now set a tone for how other members and associations are looking to operate within the organisation. That's for sure. So I think, by paying the respects and being true to the cause, if you like, it's really set a beautiful tone across the world. It's just the truth.
We are the market leaders.
We
are the blueprint for a lot of other members who are starting up. They come to us for the blueprint of what we've done.
Yeah.
So
We even had a meeting with the president of Sicily FA, recently voted in, Mario. He's good, he's got a good job. He's actually chief business analyst at the Independent up in London. And the first thing he wanted to do is get on a phone call with us. And one, super grateful for the call, and then two, start picking our brains as to how we operate, the business, what the model is and everything. And he's absolutely blown away. But, I'm there on the other side thinking exactly the same. This driving incredible energy. Just wanting to represent the people. Astonishing. So, yeah, great links.
Thank you.
thank you, Tony.
Do you have any further questions or anything of note from the audience? Anybody like to ask anything or say anything at all?
If I feel it's a wrap, then we'll keep it there. We can do anything back on the floor and just get photographs as we sort of finish things up. Well, good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well,
Thank
thanks
you
for your time.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for anyone watching in.